You are welcome once again. Abdullah Abrov is my name, and I am the founder of Abdullah Legal Academy. Today, we shall be discussing the theme that we have published for some weeks ago, which is Crash Course on Legal Content Creation. Legal content creation. When you hear the word content, which I know that is not a new word to every one of us here. When you hear that somebody is a content creator, or you hear that somebody is creating a content somewhere, what comes to your mind? Before we go into the lecture proper, I want us to do a kind of interaction. What comes to your mind when you hear the word content? I'm asking a question. Can anybody answer me? What comes to your mind when you hear the word content, or the word content creator, or content creation, or you hear that they are creating content somewhere around you? What comes to your mind? I'm asking a question, please. Can anybody answer me? Hello? Can anybody answer me? What comes to your mind when you hear the word content creation? Will there be no answer? Will there be no answer? I'm still waiting for responses. What comes to your mind when you hear the word content creation? Content creation. What comes to your mind? Hello? Is there anyone there who can't hear what? Can you hear me at all? Hello? Can anybody hear me over there? Is there anybody who can hear me? Ugh, am I being heard like this? Hello? I don't know if Adebayo Favor, can you hear me? Temi Tope, can you hear me? Samuel, can you hear me? Mr. Wadud Ademola, can you hear me? Abu Sufyan, can you hear me? Fatima, can you hear me? Good. I think Adebayo can hear me clearly. She wants to speak. I've given you the opportunity to speak, Adebayo Faithful. Can you hear me?
Hey.
You can hear me
Yes, sir,
clearly.
I can hear you, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you very much. I've been trying to be inquisitive to know if I'm being heard or not, so that I won't be talking to myself.
Okay, sir.
So
you asked that what's content creation?
okay, yes.
So it simply means making or sharing things that people can consume, like turning one's ideas into content to inform people or entertain people or educate.
Yes, you get it. Contrary to what Mr. Adebayo just said now, does anybody also have anything to add to it, or to as a kind of objection, or as a kind of a supporting argument to what he has just said now, before we proceed?
Sir, can I try?
Of course you can. We can hear you. You can proceed, please.
Sir, from the word content, it actually means, like, let me say, like, experience, maybe like creating valuable experience or knowledge by maybe like sharing it to audience, something like that.
Sharing valuable knowledge to the audience. Of course, yes, you can call it that way too. In fact, I like your own approach to the definition of content because I, I think I like your idea, but the fault in that idea is that does every content create value? You know, we have so much content out there today, and not every one of them uh, are valuable. Is valuable rather. But we are still on the way. Let's just proceed. When you hear the word content, what is content? You know, I won't be bombarding you with theory. We'll just be practical, and I will be giving you practical illustration and examples to what we are about to explain here today. When you hear the word content, I believe that this is not the first time that every one of us here is hearing the word content. We have been hearing the word content before today. But technically, content means that thing that is created and fixed in a means by which audience can consume it. What do I mean? It means that thing that has been compiled or that has been refined, not just an idea, but start from an idea. But the idea has been refined. It has been built into into an identifiable means by which it can be consumed by the audience. And for this, we have some forms of content, because this thing also, if you hear about the word content, so that you won't be confused, especially the one that we are about to explain in this workshop for today. Sometimes when you open a textbook, for example, you will see table of content. When you I believe that you should have had it somewhere before, maybe where you are in a manufacturing industry. You will hear them asking, what is the content? What is the content of this product? We're talking about the content of the product in that sense. They are talking about the ingredient that has been used to create that product. And content is also being used in the sense of, for example, now, you know, I think if you are current online and you know about the issue at the National Assembly about Senator Natasha. Senator Natasha was once a chairman also of something committee of local content at the Senate. When we hear about content, don't get confused, because content itself is being used in many contexts. Content is being used in many contexts. Content is being used in many contexts, in different areas of specialization. So it now depends on from which perspective are you talking from, that will make you to decide what kind of content are they talking about, and what does the content that they're talking about actually means. But the kind of content that we are talking about today is that one that you consume on your screen. Online, go online. Anything that you can consume on your screen online is a content. And even offline, anything that you can consume literally offline is a content. But where we are going today is that of the content that you consume on screen. Is that content that you consume on screen? That is where we are going today. And for us to be able to go deeper into this, we have some forms of content. What are the forms of content that you can consume on your screen? we have the textual content. The textual content are the textual content comprises text, letters, as in maybe when you are writing an article, you are writing a blog, you are writing an autobiography, you are writing a legal writing, you are writing on the topic. If you open a website, for example, now, if you open a website, for example, you will see that many things have been published on that website. That is a content. For you to read, it's a content. That is a textual content for you. We also have the visual content. The visual content are those things that, even though it might comprise textual content too, I mean, you can be able to read something there, but they are so much visual appealing that they do not stop on text alone. There are some other illustrations that have been added to the text to make it much more engageable and to make it to be much more useful for the consumer that are consuming that if you for example now the flyer that we created and published to communicate this event is a visual content. It's a visual content, and as you can see, it has text, pictures, and some other abstract design, just to make it to form a content that can be consumed by the targeted audience. And that is what you are looking at your screen. If you look at the flyer that we used to communicate the event, to communicate to this event, you will see a typical visual content in it. So anytime you see a flyer, that is a content. But what form of content is it? It's a visual content. We also have audio content. Audio content is, as I've just made mention of it now, it comprises audio. You should have had many audios before. I mean, all this music that we usually consume, they are also contents, but in form of what? In form of audio. They are audio contents. And it is not just music that can come in form of audio content. Even lectures can come in form of audio content. Podcasts can come in form of audio content, and many other things. Even adverts can come in form of audio content. So far that you can only hear it and you can't see anything that is being accompanied by it, it's an audio content. Another thing that we have under the form of content is that of audio visual content. Audio visual content is a form of content that is so much popular, and I think after textual content today, the most consumed content is that of audiovisual content. What is an audiovisual content? That is video. A video that you can watch and see the action as it is ongoing. You can see the illustrations as it is ongoing, as they are ongoing. You can see the movement of people. You can see many things that are showing on your screen in the video. And at the same time, you will also be hearing some sounds that are accompanying it. If at the end of today, because this lecture is being recorded, if at the end of today, I publish this video now, for example, it is a form of audiovisual content. The reason is that you will be able to look at my face, to read my lips, to hear me, to read my lips, to look at my gestures, to look at how I am explaining. At the same time, listen to what I'm saying. Audio, visual, the use of your eyes to see and your ears to hear at the same time in a form of content. That is an audio visual content. I've been able to explain 4 types of content to you right now. The textual content, most of which you always see online. If you go on LinkedIn, for example, if a person posts something on his timeline, it's a textual content. Textual content. If you go on any blog, for example, even if you of yourself write an article and you post it online, that is a textual content. It's a content too, but it's a textual content. Another one that I've just explained now is that of audio content. We all know what audio is. Just listen to it and consume the message that is coming from the audio. That is an audio content. Another one is that of audio visual content. And audio visual content is that of the one that you can see and you can hear what is going on at the same time. That is the forms of content. And now apply it to what I've just tell you now. You will see that the type of content that we are about to explain here today is quite different from many other contents that you might be hearing in another perspective. Is there any question on this before we proceed? Is there any question on this before we proceed? Do you have any question on this before we proceed? Good. Now, let's proceed. I think that by now every one of us knows what a content is. Now, what is a legal content? We are all law students here. We know the meaning of legal. I won't delve into that anymore. Every one of us here knows what the word legal means. I won't like to explain that one further. But when I'm talking about legal content, just add the two words together, legal and content. Then you form legal content. It is you creating a video or visual content in relation to what the law says. If you go online, for example, go to some of the all these popular law firms. Go to their YouTube page. Go to their YouTube channels. Go to their Facebook pages. Go to their LinkedIn pages. You will see many content that will be created by them. It's either they are informing you on a particular position of law, or they are letting you to know, or they are making you to be aware of a particular position of law, or they are telling you, they are educating you on a particular position of law. And how do they do this? It's either they create a flyer, or they create videos, or they even make it in form of audios. And that is what makes it to be legal content. Legal content.
Hello, sir. We're not hearing you.
I wanted to see the same thing. I thought I'm the one
We
wrong.
can't hear.
Yes, sir.
Please, can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, please?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Where did you hear me last? What was what was the last thing that you heard from me, please?
When we were talking about LinkedIn
Hello?
profiles, content for LinkedIn, they are talking about things of law. That was when I think that's when we stopped.
Okay, no problem. Let me just start from where I begin from. So I'm talking about law firms, for example. If you go onto their platforms, maybe YouTube platforms, maybe Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, even WhatsApp channels, you will see that they are posting videos. In that videos, they are talking about law. That is a legal content. And that form of content is what? Is an audio-visual content. Since you can see and you can also hear, that is audio-visual. And since they are relating it to law, they are using it to explain a particular legal principle. They are using it to educate you on a particular legal principle. That is a legal content. You can also see their flyers. In that flyers, you will see them writing a lot of things on the flyer to educate you. That is also what? Illegal content. And also, you can also go on our own personal YouTube channel, Abdallah Legal Academy on YouTube, also on Facebook, Abdallah Legal Academy, Twitter. I think Abdallah Legal Academy is also on Twitter too. On Instagram, our Instagram account has been hacked and all our content has been wiped away, even though we don't care. But if you go online and you search for Abdallah Legal Academy, there are so many content that were also posted there. In those content, you will see videos, audio visual. You will see flyers, that is visual. You will not see audio, and you will see textual context too, because most of the time we write alone without putting any other form of content too. That is a legal content for you. It is when you are either creating a flyer, or you are recording an audio, or you are you are writing a text, maybe an article or anything, article or legal opinion, or you are creating a video. And in those four forms of content, you are using it to pass out an information or hello, Fatima, please mute your mic. Okay, thank you very much. Or you are using when you are using that same content to educate the people on a particular position of law. That is legal content for you. Now, we've explained what content is. We have also explained what legal content is too. Why do we need legal content? Why do we need legal content? Why do you have to be stressing yourself to bring up to go and conduct a legal research, and after you've conducted the legal research, you open your laptop, or even not your laptop, your phone, and start writing, and after you finish writing, you reduce it into maybe video or into audio or into flyer, and you start posting it online for people to consume, either for free or by paid or by subscription. Why do you need that? Why? You as a patient, why do you need that? I as a patient, why do I need that? The first thing that makes us to need that is to what? Is to clear misconceptions. I think I personally, I go into legal content creation because I want to clear misconception. There are so many misconceptions relating to law. Even I myself, when I was not in the legal ecosystem, there are so many things that I have in my mind that are wrong in relation to law. For example, now, people will say out there, hey, since a person has killed another person and he has been caught, what will you do? You should kill him now. After all, the court will tell you to go and kill him. Since you have caught him, just kill him. Kill waiting. Don't kill him, oh. If you kill him, you are also a killer, which means that you have now committed murder too, and you also be killed. It is only a court of law that can say that. But this is a misconception that most people have in our environment, in our society today. Once a person has been caught, maybe a thief or an armed robber or anybody, once a person has been caught, the next thing is to what? Is to kill him. But it doesn't work this way. This is one of the misconceptions. Another misconception is that all lawyers are liars. That's another misconception. And you can only have this misconception if you are not in the legal ecosystem. Another thing is that there are so many things that people are doing right there today that are not in relation to what the law says, and it is very fatal to them. The first thing by which that may interest you to go into legal content creation is to claim misconception. Another thing is to educate. And yes, this is also part of him too. I want to educate people. I want to educate as many as in fact, I want to educate people more than I can even meet in life. I want my content, my legal content, to reach as much as possible people as I cannot even meet every one of them in my life. And through this, and because of this, you can go into legal content creation. Another one is to make money. Of course, people make money via content creation, especially legal content creation. YouTube pays, Facebook pays, TikTok pays, a lot of platform pays. And apart from that, it's even you yourself, it establishes you as a kind of authority. It gives you out, it positions you, it lets people know what you know, it lets people to want to associate with you, it lets people to see, not just to, for example, now, if you don't blow your trumpet, nobody will blow it for you. According to Sir Aminu Kano, if you don't blow your trumpet, nobody will blow it for you. It helps you yourself as a law student, and when you become a lawyer, as a lawyer, to blow your own trumpet. Let's say there is one of the most technical area of law, and that is still emerging right now today, is that of law in relation to AI, technology law and AI. In relation to specifically AI, it is a very technical area of law that is still developing, especially in Nigeria, for example. So if you are a person and you have embarked on a very tough legal research to the extent that you have known much about AI today, and you start creating a kind of short content to inform the people about, okay, this is what you should know about AI, this is what you should do with AI, this is what you should not do with AI, this is where the law can come after you if you use AI in this manner, this is how you can use AI in a way by which it will be hygienic to you legally. If you are doing this, you are letting people to know that, yes, this guy does not only possess the knowledge of law, but he possesses a very special and specific aspect of the knowledge of law, which is AI. So that's another reason why you can go into AI as of today. Now, what are the benefits that come from legal content creation? We are all law students, and I want to believe that almost every one of us here knows the principle of contracts, the general principle of contracts. There is this aspect of contract law called consideration. And what is the main aim of consideration? Give and take. You give me and I take from you. Qui pro quo. You give me, I take from you. If you are not giving me anything, why should I give to you? That is the process of legal consideration. If you don't give to me, why should I take from you? And if I don't take for you, why should I give to you? So, and since you are giving to me, I must give to you back. And since you have taken for you, you must give to me back. I must give to you back. That is the aspect of the consideration. And we're talking about benefit now. You yourself, you are exhausting your energy, your power, your knowledge strain to embark on legal research, to start writing, to start using it, to start reducing it to the form of content that you want to put out there. Either it is text, either it is flyer, either it is video, either it is audio. You are expending a lot of energy. Then, if there is no benefit that will come out of it, why will you do it from the outset? Why will you do it from the outset? And yes, legal content itself, or legal content creation, brings a lot of benefits. And the first of the benefits is that it establishes you as a kind of authority. For example, now, if you, for example, you are a law student that talks about contracts and commercial dispute alone, people will see you as a kind of authority in the aspect of commercial law and contract law, for example. And if you are a person that always talk about data privacy, AI, and technology law, they will see you as a person that they can always go to when this issue comes up. For example, now, like 2 weeks ago, a colleague reached out to me from Ahmadu Bello University concerning an issue that he asked under is a very technical area of law that involves technical mathematical appreciation. Immediately after, it texted me the problem, even though I know it, but I was also facing another problem because I'm also writing the exam. I had to refer it to a person that I know that he has authority on that. And since the past 4 years, I've been seeing that colleague of mine teaching people, organizing lectures, even writing on that area of law alone, Islamic law for session. So that's immediately after this problem come, and I know that I won't be able to solve it for him because I also have a problem that I was also facing at that particular moment in time. I refer my friend, my colleague from ABU to that colleague directly. Go and meet Mr. So. I have confidence in him that he will be able to demystify any problem that you have on this area of law. That is what legal content can do for you. Anytime anybody have issue concerning any area of law that they are currently facing at a particular moment in time, they will always refer it to you because they know that you have a kind of special knowledge in that area of law. Other instances when I was in when I was in level 200, a colleague reached out to me from one particular private university in the Southwest. He told me that day that he saw one of my contents that revolves around cybercrime. And he was so much interested in it that he had to reach out to me. And not just reaching out to me for just talking sake. This colleague of mine was a final year law student at that school. And then he gave me an offer because at that time, he was writing his final year LLB dissertation, and it revolved around cybercrime in Nigeria. And he gave me an offer of being his legal assistant in his project. And I gladly took the offer. That is one of the benefits that legal content creation can give to you. It will establish you as an authority. That is the first thing. Another thing is that it will help you yourself to grow. Because, hey, as a law student, you don't want to say something today and come out tomorrow and tell people that, please, you see, that thing that I said yesterday, I was saying rubbish, in fact, that is not the true position of the law. In fact, I made a mistake. Please, I'm very sorry. Will you want to come out tomorrow and say so? No. You will not want to come out tomorrow and say so. That is the reason why it will develop you yourself will develop, because as you are forming your idea, you will make sure that you make everything to be accurate. And did you know the pain that you go through when you want everything to be accurate? You will read each of the text of your legal sources. And after you have read, you will digest. After you have digest, you will ruminate. After you have ruminate, you will think about it. After you have thought about it, you will critically think about it. After you have critically think about it, you will now creatively think about it. And as you are going through all these processes, you are also improving. Because if you read the textbook, for example, and it gives you half knowledge, you want to read another textbook so that you have full knowledge. And if you read one textbook, it gives you one particular knowledge. You already read another textbook, it gives you one particular knowledge. You read another textbook, and at the end of the day, you have read like 7 textbooks, and you have gathered like 12, 13, 14, 15 principles of law regarding one just issue that you want to address. At the end of the day, you are not just doing it for the sake of those people that will consume your content out there, but for you yourself, you will have known a lot of things. So it helps you yourself to grow. Most of my courses that I'm actually being offered right now, I think I've read most of them when I was in 100 level. Most of them, I think 60% of them have been read by me when I was in 100 level. The reason was that I want to put out myself. I want to create a content. And I don't just want to say something today and come out tomorrow that this thing, I was wrong. Or I will post out something there and somebody from another school will be refuting what I say that is not the true position of the law. I don't want that to happen. So I have to read. I have to read deeply to the extent that you will think that I have an exam tomorrow when I'm reading today to put out my content. And it has helped me a lot. And that is what content creation will do for you. Living content creation will do for you. It will help you yourself to grow. You will grow. Wallahi, you will grow. You will grow. If you won't even know that you have grown, you will just be growing. You will grow. You must grow. Because as you are reading this, you are digesting it, you are knowing more, you are reading another thing, you are knowing more than you have known yesterday. In fact, content creation will make you not to be what today, tomorrow again. If you are A today, by tomorrow you will be A, B, C. And next tomorrow you would have been A, B, C, D, E. And by next tomorrow you will have been A, B, C, D, E, F. That is what content creation will do for you. That is another benefit of content creation. Another benefit is that it opens door. It opens door. If you are a law student, it will open a lot of doors for you. Content creation personally has opened a lot of doors for me. I personally am a testament to that. It has opened a lot of doors for me as a legal content creator. There was a time that I was reached out to by a person that knows me through my content. He told me that day that, hey, I saw your content, I like it, I know that you are a law student, and please, can you help us to write an agreement on a property? They are going into a land transaction, conveyancing transaction, and if my memory could serve me well, the amount of money that was involved then was 5 million naira. And that person reached out to me that day that I should help him to write an agreement. Listen, I should help him to write an agreement for the conveyancing, for the transfer of ownership. And he also went further, telling me that, no, we know that lawyers will be collecting 10%, and 10% of 5 million naira is 500,000 naira. I don't want to give it to all those lawyers because they will be billing me. But I want you to do it. But we won't give 500,000 naira. We have just 200,000 naira. Then I was a level 200 student too. 200,000 naira to write an agreement. They say yes. Okay, no problem. But I did not take that work. The reason was that, I'm a legal content creator. And for you to be a good legal content creator, you must be a good legal researcher. I've made my research. I know that a law student is not permitted to draft an agreement. You can't draft an agreement as a lawyer. If you are caught, you are gone. You are gone for life. I just told them immediately that, you see, at this juncture, you have to go and get a lawyer because the lawyer seal must be on your agreement for it to have legal effect, for it to confer legal interest in the person that the land is being conveyed, the person to the person to which the ownership in the land is being transferred to. So I had to explain it to them that you will spend money. Wallahi, you must spend money. That was what I told them that day. The reason why I was able to do that was that I did not look at the money side, because I would have taken 200,000 naira now. But if I took that 200,000 naira, it will cost me more than 200,000 naira. Because if I was caught, that would have been the end. If you are caught that you are impersonating a lawyer as a law student, you can never be admitted to law school. And by implication, you can never become a lawyer in your life again. What will I gain by collecting 200,000 naira and forfeiting my career? So you must be careful too when you are, because it will open doors for you, but you must be careful. Please don't be greedy. It will open a lot of doors for you, but don't be greedy. There are some things that will come that you will naturally harm from, and there are some things that will come that you will just reject it because it comes with problems. It comes with problems. So that is another benefit that you can also see from legal research. And another thing is that it makes you yourself personally. I've talked about that. It develops you, it opens you, it makes you to be authority in what you are doing, and so on and so forth. That is the benefit of legal content creation for you. Now, before we go for break, let me quickly explain this thing. We've known what content is. I've also explained to you now what legal content is. Another thing that we should know is that, another thing that I want us to know is that, now, you know, when you're talking about law, in the area of law, especially when you are writing, when you are embarking on legal research, and most of the times you want to, for example, now you have an issue which you want to research upon to find answer to. You are embarking on critical thinking. Let's say, for instance, now somebody slaps you, and you want to know if that person does right thing, or he has done what is not right in the eyes of the law. Now you embark on legal research. After you have found all the necessary information from the legal sources that you consulted, you will now apply it to that incident of slapping that occurred to you. Then you will get your answer. That process of going back and forth to research and to think about what happened to you and apply it to what is in the book of law is called critical thinking. What do I call it, please? Critical thinking. That is critical thinking for you. But for you to be able to be a legal content creator, you have to embark on creative thinking. You must possess these two things, critical thinking and creative thinking. Now, how will you now form your idea? Let's say you are coming into the legal the ecosystem of legal content creation for the first time. How will you yourself find your niche? I, for example, my own niche is education aspect of legal content. I don't want to go into entertainment of legal content. I don't want to be entertaining people. I just want to be informing. But in what way? I also know that even let's be honest with ourselves. I'm talking to those at level 3, level 4, level 5, and even level 200 law students right now. The course that you are being taught in the class, are they interesting? Are they interesting? They are not interesting. In fact, it will reach a point in time that you will not just want to read, because everything is either boring, it's either technical, it's either theoretical, it's either abstract, it's either too bland, it's either it's either too overwhelming. The reason why you go further in reading your course materials most of the time is because you don't want to fail. Let's talk about our seniors at law school, for example. Now, they will tell you how everything is bulky, how everything is like a war zone. But they can't go back. They just have to face it and move forward because they don't want to fail. They are doing all these things under pressure. So is it now the same thing that you now put in the video or in a flyer or in any form of nonsense and put it outside there to a person that doesn't even care about what the lawyer wants to say? And you think they will engage it? No, they won't engage it. That is why you have to be creative. With that, your critical thinking, you have to be creative. There was a time when I created a legal content, so many legal contents per se. They revolve around a particular area of law, but they were presented in form of drama. I think when I was on another level, I wrote about 60 legal drama episodes. Yes, when I was on another level, I wrote about 60 legal drama episodes. And by then, most people that used to read themselves, they were non-law students, or some of them were law students, and most of them were non-law students. Because if you merely opening it and reading it, you will just understand what is being explained, and it will be very interesting. That it will be as if you are reading drama text, as if you are watching movie. This said this and this react like this, and you won't just know it. You are learning the law. That is my own niche of legal content creation, education. But how do I present that education aspect of it? Through means by which it won't be through that means by which I will be presenting something that is serious in a way that is not so much seeming serious. That is why you must be creative. As a legal content writer, you must have a very good creative thinking, creative thinking. And how will you form your own idea? This is the step. The first thing is that ask yourself, what do you want to be known as? Is it as that law student that teaches people tutorial on a particular area of law? For example, now I have a senior. The senior should have been called to bar just of recent. That person is Ori David. You can search on Google. Just search on Google. Search Ori David on Google. He is known to be teaching only company law. I learned about him when I was in under level 2. Yes, under level. I started this thing when I was in under level about 4 years ago. And I met him. I met the guy. The guy was so good. All his content revolves around company law. That is what he wants to be known as a company law expert. And every content that is creating revolves around company law. Another person that I know is that of Dieko Daniels. Barrister Dieko Daniels. I know Barrister Dieko Daniels as far back as 2021, when I was still in Lagos. Then I used to consume his content then. Though his content did not specialize on a particular area of law, but his niche was legal education too. He has tutorial on legal system, legal method, law of tort, criminal law. Some part of criminal law, company law, law of evidence, law, contract law. What else? He has tutorials on, I think, about 7 to 8 areas of law. And this is what he wants to be known as an authority in legal scholarship. That is another example. Another example is that of this lawyer. I've forgotten his name, honestly, but you would have known about him too. This lawyer, the crooner of what the law says. He usually creates some content these days where you will invite people and be asking them questions like who want to be a millionaire, and they will be answering the questions. And as they are answering the questions, it is either they get it right or they get it wrong. And we tell them if they get it right or get it wrong. I've forgotten the name of this lawyer. That one is also a part of legal content creation. That is what he wants to be known as a person who makes the law to be fun. Because the way he will be explaining the law to you, you will be laughing. You will be laughing. It is very comedic. Layi Wasabi too. It's also, let me not call his content a legal content, but it is somehow mixture of legal content, because he himself is a lawyer, and he the character that he plays in all his legal content is that of a lawyer, but he don't usually talk about legal principle and legal perspective. I can't call that one a legal content, because per se is just his own niche is to just make you laugh and just to entertain you, not to go deep into what the law says. Not like that of Dear Cordanes, Ori David, and this particular lawyer that I've forgotten his name. So when you want to go into legal content creation, that is what should firstly be in your mind. What do you want to be known as? Another thing is that what area of law do you intend to explore? So since you have defined what you want to be known as, the answer will come in handy for you to be able to determine which area of law that you are about to go into. There are so many law firms there today that their own main area of specialization is that of compliance, company compliance, compliance, data privacy, and intellectual property. All their content will revolve around that one. That is what they want to. That is the area of law that they are exploring. That is how you build idea when you are going into legal content creation. Another one is that of the problem that you want to solve. Because let me tell you this, if you are not solving problem and you are just showing up, you are showing up for nothing. You must be solving problems. In your content must be solving problems. Please don't put out a content without having the intention of making that content to solve a problem. If you critically think about those people that I've just talked about now, including my own personal content too, everything is solving problem. Everything is solving problem. Let's talk about a person that is teaching contract law of company law, for example. It's a problem solving content, because anybody that is being taught company law in school and he is finding it difficult to understand the principle that has been taught in the class will quickly go to the content, read to assess it, listen to it, watch the explanation, the illustration, the examples, the everything that has been explained in the content, and we'll be able to understand what Oyedefi has explained. That is a content, that is a problem-solving content. Another one is that of Mr. Dear Cordanes, ESQ. His content is about education. Let's say, for instance, now you are just a law student, you are just admitted into the faculty of law. Maybe you are still in holiday, you are not there soon, but you want to start learning about law, and you want to have this class 5 of what law usually looks like. Go to Dear Cordanes, go to Dear Cordanes platform. You will see many law tutorial that has been explained by him. By watching it, you will be knowing it. Even when you get into class, everything that I'll be explaining to you, the lecturer will be explaining to you, won't sound new to you again, because you have known it before. You just be adding more to what the lecturer has been saying. And at the end of the day, if the lecturer gives you 50% and you have 50% from what Dear Cordanes taught in the class, making 100%, you have your hay. That means what? The content is solving the problem. If you go to our home platform too, Abdel Legal Academy on Facebook, on YouTube, we have a lot of tutorials on legal method. We have tutorials on contract. We have tutorials on contract law too. If you look at our content and you consume them, you will be able to understand what the principle of law is saying, and you'll be able to comprehend. You'll be able to apply when any real life matter, any real life issue comes your way. We are solving problems. So please, when you are going into content creation, for you to form an idea, ask yourself, what problem do you want to solve? Because your content must be problem solving in nature. Then another one is that, what legal resources can you access at your fingertips? That is where you should start from. Because let me tell you this: if you may not have a law library where every law, where there is nothing that you are thinking about law that you won't see in that library. So if you don't have access to such a library, why not start from the resources that are at your fingertips that you can always have access to? When I started then, I think I used to use my own school library resources. And thank God for my own school library was Bayero University Kano Library, Law Library. It is a very big law library that it has so many resources. In fact, the resources that are in the library, if you are a bookworm and you are an extreme voracious reader, if you want to be reading, if you can never even be able to read every book in that library from your level 1 day to your level 5 day. The library is so much rich. I offer exploit the resources in that library. May God bless Bayero University Kano for providing such a library to us, and our Dean of Law for making sure that the library is being maintained properly every time. May God bless our Dean of Law. May God bless Bayero University Kano. May God bless all our teachers. May God bless all your teachers in your own schools too. The library is so much rich. So I use these resources at my fingertips then. And when it is during the time of, that is why I don't usually go to home during the time of holiday, because I don't have that rich resources at home. I don't have your library at home. I don't have many law resources. I only have a handful textbooks, a handful law textbooks. And you know, many questions usually come into my head, and I want to find answer into them. How will I be able to find answer into them? Is to make sure that I am at a place where I can easily access legal sources. So make sure that when you are going into legal content creation, for you to form an idea, make sure that the resources that you'll be using to concoct, to form the idea, to refine it, to cook it into consumables, make sure that the resources are available. That's about that. So I would like us to take a break now, and I will give us 15 minutes break. So by 10:33, we shall proceed by the special grace of God. Let's have 15 minutes break. So by then, we will come back to explain what are the skills that are involved in legal content creation, and how can you distribute your legal content to reach your target audience, so that you will be able to achieve the aims and objectives of your legal content creation. Those are the things that we are coming back to explain after the break. So let's all take a break right now. And I want us to also note that there will be a question and answer session after the break, after the explanation after the break. So please be prepared. I will ask you so much questions, and please, okay, let's just go for break. Let's go for break. By 10:33, we are coming back. 10:33, we are coming back. So till then, have a wonderful, legal, and nice time ahead. Thank you very much for